Definitely some intensity between them at the weigh-ins yesterday, not just between them, but between their teams as well. As the team started chanting the names of their respective fighter, and it was, yeah, it was a little bit intense. And obviously, I mean, these two have already shared 15 minutes inside the cage. They can potentially share 25 here tonight. But I think the fact that the last fight ended on a draw, it's kind of left them both like a little bit irritated. Both of them felt that they won that first fight.
Sure.
And they both are here to prove it tonight.
It was at HEXAGONE MMA, the second edition of the HEXAGONE promotion indeed. Again, back in October of 2021, but we'll see what tonight has in store. Now, obviously, fighting 3 rounds of 5 minutes, that's one thing. Fighting a potential 5 rounds of 5 minutes, that's a different ball game altogether.
Absolutely. You have to pace yourself a little bit differently. And for somebody like Laetitia Blot with her very muscular build, you've got to be careful not to blow your load too early.
Yeah, if you can risk it all, indeed, if you put too much in there right from the onset. But here, up against the cage goes Kareckaite. It felt like an opportunity there for Blot.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously what Blot wants. She does not want to fight this out at a distance. I mean, they have very contrasting styles. It's almost like their body types are a testament to their different styles as well. You can see that here. She wants to find that takedown. She has, background in judo as well. Expect her to try and look for one of those classic judo hip tosses, ideally ending up in side control.
And Ernesta obviously going to be looking for that powerful striking capability with those long legs that she might be able to reach her opponent from afar.
And for those wondering, Laetitia Blot's nickname C18 is a reference to Android 18 from Dragon Ball. So she is a Dragon Ball fan, much like Priscilla de Souza as well.
Yeah, that didn't bring too much luck to Priscilla de Souza earlier on tonight. We'll see if another Dragon Ball aficionado can walk away with a better outcome in a matter of moments.
I was always more of a fan of Piccolo or Vegeta, but nothing wrong with Android 18 either. So.
Oh, absolutely. And again, Blot here trying to come up with a solution. Kareckaite using the cage here.
So far, Kareckaite, I mean, she's defending kind of well. You see, she's lowering her base, and she's sort of pinning Blot's leg as well. She's putting her own leg out. Oh,
things are moving and shaking now.
That was a nice adjustment there from Blot. Just as soon as she managed to get a little bit of separation, and she managed to get her balance where she needed it, she got the takedown. Kareckaite tying up Blot very, very well here, though. As you can see, Blot has no space to work with. But again, this is more of a stalling technique than something that's gonna, cause any damage or threaten submission-wise. You could adjust it into perhaps an omoplata, but then she would have to get her leg under the chin of Blot, and that's not going to happen here in this position.
Now, this is an interesting start here to a main event, 5 times 5 rounds, 5 minutes apiece as well. Now we're going down on the mat here. We've been there for a while, in fact. And are we going to try to find, or is Blot going to try to find that stacking position we were talking about earlier?
Right now she seems, she's past the leg. She's in side control, so she's probably doesn't need that position right now. She's probably going to try out, look like she was trying to step over, get into full mount, but Kareckaite recognized it. She defended, put her leg up there against it to stop the advance. And Kareckaite, she does keep busy with other things despite being a striker. She actually won the Lithuanian grappling competition, IGF Grappling, in October of 2021. And she actually got a belt out of it. We don't usually see belts in grappling competitions, but she got one.
So what have both fighters been up to since their... Oh, let's wait a second here. Things are moving. 20 seconds on the clock till the... Oh!
Oh, a bit of a tactical error from Blot. She didn't connect her legs, which, left the opportunity for Kareckaite to roll with that submission attempt.
Well, there it is. The end of round number. And that was how much that meant to her in her career and her life. So again, this is it's one of those opportunities that she's looking to capitalize on.
You can see Kareckaite being very, very mobile. She doesn't want to be a stationary target, but that's easier said than done. I mean, BLOT, she's okay, separation there, but BLOT, she is very good at just finding her opponent and sticking to them like a leech. She does lean forward a lot, though, in her stance, and she's got to be careful with that. She could get caught with an uppercut or a knee, perhaps up the middle.
And she is on springs indeed. Kareckaite looking to try to find that striking position, try to find that perfect distance to try something out. But BLOT is well in tune, is avoiding everything possible. So far, she can't even get those shots off.
Yeah, it's almost like striking-wise, Kareckaite is forced BLOT into a bit of a defensive shell. Because, I mean, she is definitely the more seasoned striker out of him. And BLOT has talked about it openly. I mean, she said something along the lines of, yeah, sure, I trained boxing, but I'm not going to become a pro boxer in the span of just 2 years. So she's well aware of what her strength is. She's not trying to be something that she's not. She uses her striking as a means to an end, and that end should be on the mat.
Look at that. Did you see that strike? You were kind of looking downwards for a second. Sebastian, the head, just kind of walking into the fist for a moment right there. Oh, there, that's an interesting one as BLOT gets the charge on the cage.
So this is much better for BLOT here. I mean, you could tell, like, that strike, which I unfortunately missed because that was 1 second I looked down. But Kareckaite, when she finds her rhythm on the feet, she's dangerous. I mean, she's like just a dangerous, jumpy striker who likes to keep her opponents at the end of her strikes and kicks. And once she does find her distance, expect her to start throwing that high right kick as well, which can be devastating.
And again, we're locked in this position here, similar to what we had in round number 1, although a different area of the cage. And again, with the ultimate question, which of the two will be able to find a way out? And so, if you're Leticia BLOT right now, what are you trying to establish in this area of the cage?
Well, she wants to get the fight to the ground. There's no question about that. But she would want to ideally be able to step over her legs, cross them over her opponents, and then try to go for that classic judo hip toss, or perhaps connect double underhooks, and then basically go for a body lock takedown. See, there we saw that uppercut that I was alluding to earlier. It is a good deterrent when you know that your opponent is going to shoot, because hitting them with it, or even just showing it, it adds, just that little speck of doubt, which really could be a deciding factor.
Yeah, doubt is obviously seen as the enemy. If you doubt, you're in trouble. And BLOT here looking for, going for that left leg. And Kareckaite finding the easy way out on that one. And then there's we're talking about the age difference earlier, the potential of going 5 rounds. Is that going to be a factor, or is BLOT just simply too well prepared?
It's hard to say. In general, statistically, if you look, if you look at the UFC as an example, the younger fighter tends to win 65% of the time. That's not always the case. And BLOT, she has such a wealth of experience, and in general, age doesn't affect the female divisions as much as the male, and the only divisions where it is an exception with males is for heavyweights as well. They tend to find their prime a little bit later. The same is usually said for women, that their prime tends to come a little bit later in their careers. So it doesn't have to be as big of a factor as you might seem, and yeah, there you have it.
And now we're exactly where BLOT wants to be. And Kareckaite trying to find solutions there. She's the one sending those fists to Blow's face.
She's got to be mindful. She was deducted a point in her first fight due to strikes to the back of the head. So far, these all are legal strikes by the looks of things. Strikes to the side.
Oh, she's had enough, Blow. She has had enough, but no. Kareckaite flipping things around.
Oh, she's going for a heel hook. But I don't think she has the leg positioning. Yeah. Kareckaite not in any proper danger there. It's a jockey for position now, a real scramble. Oh, that's an uncomfortable angle for Kareckaite's leg, though.
Yeah, it's not looking too good indeed in that position. Oh, sadly, we can't really see the strikes behind the structure of the cage from our vantage point here. And looking at the shots going into the ribs, but again, it's the end of round number 2, just as the position was getting particularly...
Just to get quite a bit of torque and power.
Yeah, it's an impressive feat to have, and certainly a great arsenal to have. In French, you would say des longs segments, the long segments, so the lengthy limbs indeed. But that's exactly that idea that you, from afar, you're probably capable of reaching a target. And certainly Kareckaite will try to find that moment during the next 3 rounds when she can deliver the payload using those fantastic tools she has at her disposal. But we've seen the way Laetitia Blow carries herself and certainly masters the distance. And that's something she's really focusing on since the start of this fight.
Here we go. Our middle round here, round number 3. Kareckaite is just as mobile as ever. And it also makes her a very hard target to hit, because when you want to get a successful takedown, it's usually at its best when you're setting it up with strikes. But Kareckaite, she's making herself a very hard target to find. Nice right hand there.
It is. Straight on target as well. Right down the middle. In some sports, you would call a 10 for a shot down in the center. And Blow certainly looking for a solution here, trying to find the low kick on the outside. But how do you, like you were saying, setting up the takedown by striking, but how do you strike up against one of the better of the 2 strikers?
It's hard. It's one of those pick your poison type of things where you might have to be willing to eat a shot to give a shot. Or at the very least, you got to throw a couple of fakes and feints out there just so you're at least adding a little something extra to your offense.
And there you have it. Yet another attempt against the cage.
But you see, they're not really properly set up, and Kareckaite managed to shrug it off. I think that Blow would have a little bit more success with her takedown attempts if she started faking and feigning and just jabbing in general. I mean, she fights out of a southpaw stance, so a 1-2 from her, a left down the pipe would be a good weapon. Also, I wouldn't mind seeing some kicks from Blow, because chances are, if she gets on the ground, it's kind of okay. She can probably try to work her way out of a clinch situation or a grappling situation, even if her opponent catches the kick.
Let's see if she hears you there and changes indeed the tactics at hand. Easier said than done oftentimes, certainly for Blow. And again, these 2 women have fought before. It was a draw, takeaway from 2021 back in October. This time the rematch, the title on the line.
And there was that right high kick that I was alluding to earlier from Kareckaite. It landed on the guard, so it didn't land flush, but that's the thing. You kind of try to inch your way forward.
Little by little, making your way in the right direction. Oh, look at that one for Blow. The fist of fury, taking the long route, trying to find her opponent's head, but this time she closes the distance, unable to capitalize here. And we do have a wardrobe malfunction.
Well, it looked like perhaps Blow's arm got
sort of stuck
in the strap there.
Exactly. It's not a Super Bowl incident or anything of that nature, but...
I think the people watching this are too young to get that reference.
That's true. Might have to update those in the years to come.
I don't even think they know who Janet Jackson is.
And we got about 2 minutes left here in round number 3. And we have passed the halfway point of this main event of the evening here at Hexagon 6 in Paris, France.
Well, there will be a little bit more because technically we are on pause time. Unfortunately, the graphic didn't adjust for that. So a little bit more time than appears here.
You're right. We did have a few graphic issues on through the night. Oh.
Almost like a standing striking scramble there, where they were both trying to find the right moment. Oh, nice straight right there for Kareckaite as well. And BLOT, she's got to be careful that sometimes she kind of dips her head, almost looks away as she strikes. You've got to be very careful with that. You always want to keep your eyes on your opponent.
I'm glad you're talking about that, because that's something that could be a danger in round 4 and 5, particularly as the time stretches on. That mistake could be enhance someone. She could be doing more of it, and thereby offer, again, an opportunity to her opponent.
Oh, absolutely, Mark. And someone like Kareckaite, who is an experienced striker, she'll start reading that. She'll start finding that pattern.
Let's see what the future holds here as we're turning around. Center cage for both fighters, and oh, that's a left-handed shot to Kareckaite. But it felt like we were talking about BLOT needed to establish a strike to go in to try to take her down, her opponent down. She seems to be able to get a strike once in a while, but the takedown isn't coming afterwards.
See there, she was throwing everything into that strike. That was like that's something you'd see from a pitcher at Dodger Stadium, the way that she threw everything into that. And it rings of desperation. I mean, you want to set up your shots properly. Not only are those, oh, look at an offensive takedown attempt from Kareckaite. I was not expecting that.
Oh, get ready, expect the unexpected. That's the lesson of the day, certainly. So once again, our clock, still some seconds to go. We did have the malfunction earlier on here.
And honestly, I think that is to try and just get at the morale of BLOT. Because if you're Kareckaite, and this is billed as a striker versus grappler match, which in practice it has been that way, if the so-called striker can get a takedown, that's a huge blow to morale.
Something that could be a determining factor, or possibly even the X factor in a matchup like this, going all the way to the title. 10 seconds or so left in round number 3, past the halfway point in our main event of the evening. And there you have it, the end of round number 3. We've had some interesting twists and turns in this particular round as well.
Heel hook she was going for. She ended up twisting her opponent's leg in an uncomfortable position, and at least had a dominant position. So yeah, I'd say 2-1, 29-28 so far.
In favor of Laetitia BLOT, the fan favorite, the woman from France. Well, let's follow your lead right here and see if ERNESTA Kareckaite can turn things around in round number 4. Well, the good news is we still have 10 minutes of a fight available here for both fighters. And the defending champion, can she keep her coveted prize? Or is ERNESTA Kareckaite going to walk away with the belt and the strap and become champion of the world?
So we're seeing these kind of slower, smaller steps here from BLOT. And it kind of rings of insecurity. She just doesn't seem as comfortable here in these striking exchanges. She needs to get Kareckaite's respect, in a sense. And I mean, landing one of those haymakers would definitely be something that would do that, but she just needs to set it up a little bit better. Jab, jab, overhand, instead of just throwing the overhand nakedly, so to speak.
So what is preventing her from doing that? It seems she doesn't have an answer. You can get a sense that she's trying to. Oh, maybe just as we talk here once again.
Well, there she landed one left there, which did set up this position. I mean, it's timing and it's risks. No risk, no reward, right? You got to be willing to eat a shot in one of those exchanges. I mean, BLOT, she's tough as nails. She can take these hits.
And now we're back up against the cage here. Kareckaite locked with her lower back against the structure itself, and BLOT trying to take advantage of that. We're back in the middle.
And you can see that Kareckaite, she started setting up the guillotine, which forced BLOT to disengage her. That's also one of the things where the body type really comes into play. If you're a taller fighter, getting a standing guillotine isn't that hard, especially if your opponent is just shooting down, trying to get you to the mat. Oh, nice kick.
There you have it. And perhaps the defining moment of the fight here.
That was very, very nicely done by BLOT. She See, that's what I'm talking about, the timing. And she took the kick, but it was worth it, right? Because she got the top position. This was exactly what she needed.
That's what you were referencing earlier. Eat one to give one, and giving one and taking down as well. Putting Blow in a prominent position, but Kareckaite with the will to try to find a way out. Kareckaite trying to wrap both of her legs there around her opponent as well. There it is, locked in position.
Yeah, she's trying to get the guillotine here from the bottom. So far she's just got one arm in. She needs to connect both of her hands for her to be any really sizable threat. And she abandons it, yeah.
And she attempts it yet again. It's an interesting way. It's certainly a way the fight evolves here as both fighters try to set up their positioning. It's little by little, there's going to be a game of inches there.
Oh, definitely. And Blow's got to be mindful of a potential armbar here. As you can see, Kareckaite a little bit to the side. Okay, adjustment being made here, but there was a potential threat of an armbar from the bottom. You can see how Kareckaite kind of starts scooting to one side. That's usually the telltale of either trying to push off or trying to set up a submission.
And Blow again trying to find an angle to attack the face of her opponent. Oh, Kareckaite also being creative in the response.
I mean, I like the activity from Kareckaite. You know, you never see her just accept the disadvantageous position, but nice adjustment there from Blow. Advances down to north-south position.
Well, Kareckaite just putting the pressure on the feet, raising her waist and lower back area. And that position is seemingly an interesting one for Blow to try to operate and advance her game plan here.
Well, for some reason, north-south position is one of the top positions you don't see as often in MMA, but it can be very, very effective, especially if you want to go for a Kimura, for example. North-south choke is always there. We'll see what Blow does there. Under a minute left to work here in the fourth round.
You can hear the screams coming from both teams as well, both sides of the cage. It is just absolutely, it's a battle, almost like a duel of sorts, a vocal battle between teams. The instructions are raining in.
I just hope these teams can, bury the hatchet after all is said and done. So there's some solid ground and pound from Blow. I want to see a little bit more offensive activity from her in this, top position.
So again, you were giving her the advantage 2-1 before this round. And looking here again with 10 seconds to go, Blow. Or sorry, a few seconds to go. Indeed, the buzzer. I was looking at the clock, obviously, but certainly Blow again getting the job done in this round. So she's looking at a 3-1 advantage now.
To be the most dangerous, actually, because Kareckaite, she's got nothing to lose now.
She's going to have to go full frontal, indeed, give it everything she has, and try to get Blow to commit a mistake. And Blow, is she going to be playing it safe, or is she going to be wary that her opponent will be trying everything that she still has in her arsenal? It's going to be an interesting one, going the distance, 5 rounds. And this is round number 5 of a maximum potential of 5. It's all going to happen right now in our main event of the evening, Hexagone MMA 6 here in Paris, France, going right down to the wire. Laetitia Blow in the unofficial count, looking like she has an advantage 3-1, which puts Kareckaite in an interesting position. She can go. All hell breaks loose right now. Oh, look at that left go.
Swing and a miss there with that left. I mean, as a shorter southpaw fighter, the overhand left is a great weapon to not only do damage but close the distance as well. But you got to pick those moments, because every time you throw one of those big overhands and you miss, that's just wasting energy.
Energy consumption, as energy preservation and management, certainly an important factor to go all the way. And the age gap as well, 39 years of age for Laetitia Blow. 24 for her opponent, Kareckaite.
I mean, if you look statistically, Kareckaite far away from her prime even. So, I mean, I'm sure that, no matter how this fight goes, I think her best days might even be ahead of her.
When you factor in the information that her very first MMA fight was back in 2015.
Yeah.
How's that?
She landed another one of those right uppercuts, did Kareckaite. That's, you know, good, effective work. Oh, she almost got a bit of a stumble there out of blow.
Kareckaite dancing backwards. Regaining position in the center of the... Oh, that
nice
shot right there.
Kareckaite is starting to connect, but she should start turning up the volume a little bit. She can't just go one strike here, one strike there. It's the combinations that are really going to do the damage.
Yeah, certainly turning the intensity knob up one notch here for Kareckaite. And looking at, oh, there's Blow closing the distance with that left, clipping her opponent and then touching the cage.
And it looked like they said something to each other there, or Kareckaite did, and Blow responded. We're nearing the halfway point of a final round now.
Yep, only a last chance saloon of sorts for Kareckaite to come up with the goods. Oh, look at that left, clipped her as well.
That was nice work there from Blow. That's, we wanted to see more of that. And you notice how it was when she had the distance locked down. She wasn't winding up in the same way that she was earlier.
And the French crowd just turning on the Letitia, obviously to support the home favorite.
Kareckaite is moving really well. She's angling away from the cage very nicely, but it might be too little too late.
Now we're back up against the cage here, Sebastian. And it looked like we had a mobile round number 5 up until this point, but if things are going to settle up against the cage, this is going to be in favor, no doubt, undoubtedly, of the French fighter.
Oh, absolutely. You saw that Kareckaite trying to frame off of her opponent's face, but it didn't really do her any favors. All it did was force Blow to readjust, lower her center of gravity. Heavy hips here, though, from Kareckaite, preventing Blow from getting the takedown.
So props to Blow for preventing Kareckaite from finding the distance and using her striking advantage all throughout the main event tonight.
Not too surprising that Blow has things under control. She actually works as a trained controller and spends a lot of time between France, Belgium, and the Netherlands.
So next time a trained controller asks you for your ticket, make sure you present it.
You better have it.
Or else you never know what the outcome could be. Oh, there she is, Kareckaite, trying to find the final solution out here tonight. But Letitia Blow, the determination, the resolve to hold on to the title going all the way. It's really the final moments of the fight.
Oh, Blow working really hard there, trying to get the takedown, but Kareckaite remaining upright so far.
I really would love to be a little fly right now and go over to the judges' scorecards. Oh, and look at that for Blow. Down she goes.
Last second takedown attempt, lands a couple of shots there as well. That was exactly what Blow needed to put a stamp on that round.
Oh, the moment of truth now as both fighters raise the arms in victory. And there we have it. We're going into the scorecards scenario for the second time that both fighters met. Remember the outcome of the last time they met in October 2021, the decision going unanimously.
Announcer.
Déclaré vainqueur par décision partagée et nouvelle championne du monde catégorie flyweight, ERNESTA Kareckaite.
Oh, wow, an upset there as ERNESTA Kareckaite gets the nod from the judges.